Recording in progress.
Hello and good afternoon. I am Reverend Twyla Reece coming to you from Unity of Merced in Merced, California. Take a deep breath with me. It's been a busy day. It's been a good day. And I wanted to come and share with you some of the Sunday inspiration that I shared with our community this previous Sunday. I wanted to talk about non-resistance. Non-resistance. Any of you have some issues with resisting life, of resisting even your good, let alone resisting just anything that comes into your field, into your vibrational field, and you go, I don't know, right? You just kind of get all flummoxed and put up barriers and roadblocks and make life just in general more difficult for yourself. Do any of you do that? I myself have been known to do a little bit of that. And it's exhausting. It is so very exhausting whenever we come from a place of living a life of non-resistance. Somewhere along the line, last week or so, I came across the phrase mental immunity. I so appreciate that. Mental immunity. We talk so much about physical immunity, don't we? Especially these days with COVID and everything that is going on. We talk about keeping a strong immune system with our bodies. Well, how about your mental immunity? How is your mental immunity? I think that when we have a good, healthy mental immunity, we learn to know and to notice the obstructions that are in our path. We come into an awareness of where we are making life a bit more difficult, where sometimes we're making our life a lot more difficult. And what we want to do is to develop strong, positive, centered emotions and thoughts and behaviors. It's not only about our thoughts, it's not only about the words that we speak. Trust me, those are powerful, but it's also our feelings and our emotions. Not only our words, but our feelings and our emotions. How is your mental immunity? Where in life are you being resistant and not letting in the positive aspects, the gifts that life is wanting to give you? Where are you being, quite frankly, a bit stubborn, wanting to do it your way instead of doing it in a way that supports all of the universe, that supports all of that universal good, all of those teachings of love and light? What would the God of your understanding do? What would the God of, not what, but how would the God of your understanding behave? How would the God of your understanding show up in the world? Would it show up as selfish, as self-centered, as stubborn, as angry? Or would it want to show up with an open and a loving heart that is in flow with the love of universal life? How would the God of your understanding prefer life to be? Ponder that for just a moment. You know, there was a term that used to be used, and I imagine still is used within the Christian world, of what would Jesus do? Well, let's take it a little bit beyond that. than what the historical man Jesus would do, that wonderful spiritual teacher who came to show us a new way of love and of life, of compassion, of generosity. But what would the God of Jesus's understanding do? Now, I want you to come to this place from a standpoint of, or at least understand that I have a belief system, and Unity and New Thought as a whole teach that God is not a being who sits in a physical heaven. God is universal principle. God is the source of being that underlies everything that is. The word God itself, to what I understand, comes from the root is German, which translates as good. God, good. Not God judging, not God punishing, but God the good. Universal life force, ground of all being, divine life, divine order, divine source. I said a week or so ago that it's not a matter of we waiting on God. We can't wait on God because God is just here. It permeates every single molecule, every single atom. God is principle. But that principle, that source of all life, waits on us to wake up to it. So, back to my question that I think I asked of how would the God of your understanding prefer to have, see, I'm even putting life form on it, speaking of it in this way. What would benefit the whole of humanity by being an open channel of love and good, an open channel of compassion and generosity, or a closed channel of me, mine? What is in this for me? I'm taking care of me regardless of what happens to you. Is that really how a benevolent universe works, do you think? Of course, to be able to answer some of these questions, it helps to have a mindset that is open to the possibility of a different framework than what you were perhaps raised with. But try it on for size. Try on the spiritual nature of quantum physics. Try on the spiritual nature of a universal life flow. Allow your God to get out of the box. Allow your God to get out of the closet and open up to a new idea. It is by opening up to a new idea that we build our mental immunity, that we begin to live a life that instead of being resistant to new ideas, or maybe not new ideas, but to old ideas that you just simply can't get behind because it's my way or the highway, but to build your mental immunity by opening your heart to the flow of a universal love, opening your heart to a universal source of being. I feel like I'm kind of bouncing around a little bit here, but that's because I just feel like I've got so much to say, and my heart is so full of wanting us to understand that there is a way to live life that removes us from the suffering, no matter what is going on, Ooh, that sounds like a big one to swallow right now in this moment, doesn't it? When we have so much in this week, the end of August 2021, when there are so many people that are in the throes of what appears to be truly a suffering physical life. And it is true in the physical reality that is happening in the realm of wholeness, in the realm of light and love, in the realm of God as the ground of all being, there is comfort, there is love, there is peace, there is calm. The more that we can move into that place, the stronger our mental immunity becomes, the stronger our spiritual immunity comes, and the more beneficial we are to creating a world that works for everyone. The more we are in line to being a part of the solution and not a part of the problem. I come to you this day asking you to live your life from a place of mindfulness instead of from a place of resistance. Living a non resistant life is so much more peaceful. Imelda Shanklin, in her book, What Are You? Imelda Shanklin, a Unity minister, wrote this many years ago. Non resistance is not the line of let me say that again. Non resistance is not the line of least resistance. By following the line of least resistance, you may be able temporarily to evade responsibility. But no responsibility can forever be avoided. If the thing be disagreeable, cease to contemplate it. Go out to meet it, serenely non resistant. If the thing is disagreeable, stop dwelling in it. Stop worrying about it. Stop fussing it and go out to meet it. Be strong and go, okay, okay. One of my spiritual teachers, Edwin Gaines, used to tell us all the time that she's a prosperity teacher and just a beautiful soul. But when she started spiritual, um, the metaphysics of prosperity and the metaphysics of love and wisdom and life, and we teach affirmations and denials. And Edwin would use the affirmation of creditors can't eat me, my creditors can't eat me. And coming from a place instead of resisting and living in fear, instead she was building her mental immunity and to face what she needed to face straight on, to walk through it instead of coming up against it. Does that make sense? To walk through. What is that old hymn? When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high. When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high. And don't be afraid of the night. I don't remember exactly those lyrics. When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high. Live a life of fluidity. Live a life in the flow instead of resisting. It is in resisting that we get into trouble. We want to accept ourselves as we are. Accept ourselves as we are. That's another song lyric from Jai Joseph's song, I Love Myself the Way I Am. There's a line, the song is, I love myself the way I am. And in the second or third verse, I love myself the way I am, and still I want to grow. To love ourselves exactly where we are and still be willing to learn more, to love more, to know more, to open our hearts to the more good that is all around us. John Kabat-Zinn, the wonderful Buddhist teacher, it's not a matter of letting go. You would if you could. Instead of let it go, we should probably say, let it be. Letting it go, while it sounds good, that old saying of let go and let God, so much truth in that. But sometimes we can't get to the let it go because we're still holding on. Maybe where we can get to is just as powerful, but a little more fluid of let it be. Let it be. Ah, the Beatles. Speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. So I'm going to leave you with these thoughts, and I want to leave you with this writing by spiritual teacher Matt Kahn. Hating causes more hating. Fearing causes more fearing. Fighting causes more fighting. Defending causes more defending. Denying causes more denying. Seeking causes more seeking. Craving causes more craving. Possessing causes more possessing. Processing causes more processing. Asking causes more asking. Doubting causes more doubting. Regretting causes more regret. I love that one. But loving causes more love. Through the law of karma, life silently asks you, which of these would you welcome for eternity? I hope that it is through loving creates more loving. That's my words, not Matt's. Choose well and know that you are loved just as you are. Thank you, Matt Kahn, for those words of wisdom. I invite you to think about your mental immunity and how you would like to show up in life, to let your resistance down and move into love, move into harmony, compassion, kindness, and peace. Until I see you again, may your days be great and wonderful. Bye for now.